Welcome back to the Coach Momentum Podcast. It's Karen Capello. Today I want to talk about a challenge that affects many experienced coaches, especially those who have had successful corporate careers. The challenge is why people know you're talented, yet still don't hire you. Why people who know you're talented still don't hire you. It's true, people know you're talented. They know you're experienced and you're credible and intelligent, yet your business isn't growing at the level you expected. If you've ever found yourself thinking, I know I can help people, I know I can deliver results, I know my clients love working with me, then wondering why more ideal clients aren't enrolling, today's episode is for you. The answer may surprise you. I'll bet it's not about your credibility or your expertise or how good of a coach you are. It very well may be that people don't understand what makes you different. Now, when I say differentiation, many immediately start thinking about branding. Logos, colors, websites, taglines. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about strategic differentiation. The ability for someone to quickly understand why they should choose you instead of any other coach. And here's where many coaches get stuck. They assume their experience is their differentiation. They'll tell me, Karen, I was a CEO. I led a global division. I managed thousands of employees, and I spent 25 years in corporate leadership. All of that is impressive, and it does create credibility. Yet credibility and differentiation aren't the same thing. Think about it this way. Imagine 10 executive coaches standing on a stage. All 10 have impressive credentials. All 10 have years of experience. All 10 have worked with senior leaders. And all 10 have more than one certification. And they all have success stories. How does a prospective client decide? Not based on who has the longest resume or the most credentials. It's usually based on who best understands their challenge and presents the clearest path forward. That's why I will say your ideal clients aren't hiring your past, they're hiring their future. I'll say that again. Your ideal clients are not hiring your past, they're hiring their future. This is one of the biggest shifts coaches need to make when growing their business. Corporate success teaches us to communicate qualifications. Business success requires us to communicate outcomes. Those are different conversations. One says, look what I've done. The other says, look what's possible for you. The prospective clients care far more about the second statement. I remember working with a coach who had extraordinary credentials. She held senior leadership roles. She had managed major cultural transformations and decades of experience. On paper, she was exceptional. Yet her messaging wasn't creating momentum. As we explored her positioning, we discovered something important. Most of her marketing talked about her. Very little talked about the client, her experience, her accomplishments, her certifications, her background. While all of those things establish credibility, they didn't create relevance. That's an important distinction. Credibility answers the question, can I trust you? Relevance answers the question, is this for me? And most decisions happen when both are present. It's not one or the other, it's a both and. This is where many coaches unintentionally create an offer gap. They focus very heavily on establishing expertise, yet they spend very little time clarifying client outcomes. And I'm not talking about promising outcomes. I'm talking about clarifying possibilities and also outcomes that their own clients have had. When they don't clarify, the results that happen are prospective clients admire them, respect and appreciate them, and they don't hire them. That's incredibly frustrating. Because from the coach's perspective, it feels like people aren't recognizing the value they bring to the table. What I often find is that people are recognizing the value, they're simply not recognizing their own opportunity. Think about that. The prospective client understands you're talented. What they don't yet understand is how your work specifically changes their future. That's the gap. And that's why differentiation matters, because differentiating creates understanding. When someone lands on your LinkedIn profile, your website, or hears you speak, they should quickly understand who you help, what challenges you help them solve, what outcome you help them create, and why your approach is particularly effective. That's what creates momentum. Now let's talk about another misconception. Many coaches believe they need to stand apart from every other coach. They spend enormous amounts of time trying to be different. The truth is much simpler. You don't need to be different from everyone. You just need to be relevant to someone. That's a completely different objective. Your ideal client isn't comparing you to every other coach on the planet. They're asking, do you understand me? Do you understand my challenge? Can you help me achieve the result I want? When those answers become clear, decisions become easier. This is one of the reasons why specialization matters so much. A clear specialty naturally creates differentiation. A clear offer naturally creates differentiation. A clear outcome does the same. You don't have to manufacture your uniqueness, it emerges from being a specialist. And that's exactly what we see happening with coaches inside the Consistent Client Contracts course. They stop trying to sound impressive and they start becoming memorable. They stop trying to communicate everything and they start communicating what matters most. They stop leading with credentials and start leading with outcomes. And that's when conversations begin changing and referrals improve and contents become easier. When prospects start recognizing themselves in the message, that's what happens. Specialization creates confidence, and confidence creates decisions. As we wrap up today's episode, I'd like to leave you with a simple question. If someone visited your website today, would they immediately understand why you're different? Would they understand who you help, the result you create, why your approach matters? Or would they simply see another highly qualified coach? Because if they only see another highly qualified coach, there may be an offer gap hiding underneath what appears to be a marketing challenge for you. The good news is specialization can be created. Differentiation and momentum can be created also. In our next episode, we're going to pull all of this together and talk about the hidden challenge that sits underneath many coaching businesses today, the offer gap itself, and why solving it can change everything. Thank you for being a coach and supporting others to be the highest versions of themselves. We're here to help you do the same.